Less than 1% of the 6 million annual visitors of the Grand Canyon embark on the rim-to-rim hike, and a much smaller percentage turn back to do it all again. On my way to Kaibab National Forest, I began to see smoke. It was coming from the same direction that I was heading. As I passed Jacob's Lakes, I read a sign that signaled it was a controlled burn, so I pushed on. Soon after that, I began navigating some of the thickest smoke I had ever driven through. It was ominous. Eventually, I made it to the north rim of the Grand Canyon. The magnitude of this adventure that I would take on over the next few days began to sink in. Good morning. It is currently 4 a.m. and I am at the North Kaibab Trailhead. This time I plan on doing North Rim to South Rim as I did last time. Then I'm going to go South Kaibab Trail back here to the North Rim. I think logistically it should work out just fine, but it's a big one, guys. It's a big one. Everything's ready to go. I'm packed. I just need to get out of the car and start walking. Oh, it's so cold though. Alright, I'm gonna put my gloves on, adjust my trekking poles to size, and I think it's finally time to go. I am officially on trail. I don't know how to feel right now. I'm excited, but I am a little nervous as well. The rim to rim to rim trail is often a feat only ultra-marathon runners take on. But I wanted to experience this for myself. I am not an ultra-marathon runner. I don't even consider myself a strong runner, if I'm being honest. But I am confident in my hiking abilities. And I knew that I would be able to finish. It was just a matter of how long it would take me. The miles flew by, especially while hiking in the dark. This trail going down is so steep and it's so dusty. I was hiking in my road running shoes. They have a lot more cushion than my ultra trail runners, which for a hike of this magnitude sounded like a good idea. Though the cushion was nice in my New Balance shoes, there's virtually zero tread. 6 a.m. alarm just went off, so I figured it's a good time to do a little check-in. I've been on trail for an hour and 50 minutes, and I've gone 4.9 miles, I just checked, so almost 5 miles. It is starting to get light. This section that I'm on to the North Kaibab Trailhead, I have never seen in the light. Well, only hiked it in the dark. Well, it's only my second time hiking it, but still. Can hear Roaring Springs down there. You can kind of see it. You probably can't see it in the camera. I can see it. Wow, I can see all the people coming down. That is so cool. Loads and loads and loads of people all making the same journey that I am today. Pretty amazing. Feels cool to be a part of that. Okay, you can definitely see Roaring Springs now. It's getting pretty light. I probably don't need my headlamp anymore. Can't believe I'm back. Exactly 1 year ago, I was hiking rim to rim for the first time. absolutely crazy. Just took off my windbreaker, so I was getting a little warm, and it is way too early to start sweating already. Should be getting close to the Cottonwood rest area, where there are bathrooms and water and all the things. I just left the Cottonwood, I think it's called the rest area, I don't know. Sounds like I'm on a highway, but Cottonwood bathrooms and drinking water. And now I'm about to cross this bridge. Beautiful. As the crow flies, South Rim Lodge is only 11 miles from the North Rim Lodge. However, on foot, the fastest route is 23 miles. So after the Cottonwood rest stop, the trail mellows out quite a bit. It's not as rocky and it's not as steep. So just about to eat some Pop-Tarts for breakfast. This is the first thing I've eaten on trail. It is almost 6:50 and I've gone 6.7 miles so far. About 2 hours and 40 minutes on trail. So feels like I'm making good time. But oh my gosh, it's so beautiful here. Just keep soaking in every part of it. I think that's South Rim over there lit up, but I'm not sure. It doesn't look that far away, right? If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button and remember to subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this one. Just passing Manzanita rest area and campground and ranger station. Theoretically, Phantom Ranch is about 6 miles away, according to the map back there. So on to Phantom Ranch. South Rim, just right over there. I can actually see the trail to climb out. Sun is rising, but I've been in the shade the whole time still. Probably won't see sun until Phantom Ranch area. I had this day picked out for this specific adventure months in advance. Though originally, I was planning on only hiking South Rim to the North Rim. Days before I drove to the North Rim, I finalized the logistics and hoped that everything would go according to plan. You can see Ribbon Falls from here. I have officially been on trail for 3 hours, 40 minutes. I've done 9.5 miles. And let me see what time it is. 7:47. Today is a special day. It's October 14th, 2023. Today we are supposed to have a solar eclipse.
Annular solar eclipse. It's when the moon passes between the sun and Earth.
And here in the Grand Canyon, it starts at 8:09 a.m. There are definitely not as many people on the trail today as there were last year when I did this. Seems like the bubble of people coming down North Rim, going to South Rim, is mostly behind me. Whereas last time, I think we were like smack in the bubble. So, it's been very quiet, really nice. Not only were the trail conditions slightly different this year, I was different. Last year, I didn't do much training for the Grand Canyon. I was also in a very deep weightlifting phase, and I didn't do too much for cardio. This year, I was almost 15 pounds lighter, coming in at 130 pounds, and my training consisted of daily walks, HIIT training, and taking long hikes frequently. A month prior to this endeavor, I backpacked Yosemite solo. It was tough. to say the least. But after that experience, I knew that if I could pull that kind of mileage with a 35-pound pack on my back, then I could absolutely do more mileage with just a day pack. The solar eclipse officially started 10 minutes ago. Not a whole lot of changes yet in lighting, but I'm going to keep taking videos. Hopefully we get some sort of dimming. The sun's not very high in the sky yet, but it's definitely light out. Looks like we are heading towards the box right now. This area is so beautiful. Getting tighter and tighter in here. The river is flowing. Wow, this is so special. So pretty. Kind of terrifying walking into these rocks though. I forgot how much I liked this part. Sun actually looks like it might be dimming a bit. Another bridge. Done 14.1 miles of hiking, been hiking for 5 hours. So it's 9:15, and yeah, it just looks like the sun is not rising down here. I have noticed, I think it's getting a little darker instead of getting lighter or staying the same. I think we're maybe 15 minutes out from full solar eclipse, so we'll see how much changes. I'm really hoping I can get to the sun, but Phantom Ranch feels like it's getting further and further away. How cool would it be to be in that plane watching the solar eclipse? That would be amazing. Look at this one sunny spot. Let's see if I can capture anything. All right, you can't see anything. So cool to be here during an eclipse. You can definitely tell something's off. Like it's just not as light as it normally would be. It's so cool. Okay, I'm finally in the sun. Definitely not going to look directly at it because that is ill-advised. But yeah, whoa. My time at Phantom Ranch was quick. There were swarms of people around the bathrooms, the canteen, and the water refill station. Right. I am just leaving Phantom Ranch. Just changed into shorts. And now I'm eating a bunch of snacks. I have a honey stinger waffle, piece of beef jerky, and some honey stinger gummies I'm going to put down real quick. The solar eclipse is still going on. It just feels really dim, which is crazy. Obviously I can't see it fully, but it's still cool to experience down here in the Grand Canyon. As I ate my snacks, I walked past the connection trail to South Kaibab and over bridge number 7, awaiting my view of the suspension bridge. As I got closer and closer to crossing the Colorado River, I could hear the whipping hum of a helicopter. It got louder and louder. Eventually, I could see it passing right above the suspension bridge, and beginning its landing protocol near Phantom Ranch. This was an incredible sight. And at the same time, I was hoping this wasn't a medical evacuation, ending a hiker's journey across the Grand Canyon. Oh boy, those are shaking. As I finished my hike, I heard this heli making several trips to the bottom of the canyon. I figured it was probably moving supplies as the Grand Canyon backpacking season was coming to a close. I just passed the suspension bridge to Bright Angel Trail, and I just wanted to give a little update. It is 10:03 a.m. and I've been on the trail for 5 hours, 54 minutes, and I've hiked 16 miles. So all the downhill's done. Time to climb out of the Grand Canyon. Look at this. Last time I was here, the river was very, very muddy, and now it's really clear. It's fun to see the difference. I decided to keep hiking to a river just 2 miles away to refill my water in a more secluded part of the trail. South Rim, just right up there. Also, I just walked right through a river. See how these shoes respond. Hopefully they can dry out quickly, like my Ultras. They look fresh now though. So it's 10:50, and I believe the solar eclipse is over. So I'm walking in pure sun now, and the heat has returned. And the light has returned from the sun, so pretty sure the solar eclipse is over. Climbing out of the South Rim was hot. I lingered in shaded parts of the trail and savored the cool air that resided there. It is 11:48 and I've spent 7 hours, 40 minutes on the trail, and I just hit 20 miles flat. So pretty soon I should be coming up on the 4-mile rest area that has water and bathrooms. I should have maybe like 5 miles left. I had refilled my water just a few miles before, but I stopped anyways, mostly to get water to pour all over my body. Just past the 4.5-mile rest area. I got some water, dumped it all over me. It's starting to get warm. And I know this last bit is gonna be quite a bit of climbing, so hiking wet, which has always saved me, And I've only got 4.5 miles to go. Feeling really good. South Rim, getting closer and closer. Just put some sunscreen on. Right now the trail is very gradual and it's so lovely. It's kind of eerie how dead the trail is today. There's barely anyone on the trail compared to last year when I did this hike. Blowing my mind, it's a completely different hike without all the people. It feels very desolate and remote. It feels more like wilderness. I ate several snacks along the way, working on maintaining my caloric intake, something that I struggle with on long hikes such as this one. Just past the 3-mile rest house, so I only have 3 miles left. This seems to be the steepest part though. I'm feeling it. Okay, feels like I'm getting close. Just right up there, not far at all. So that canyon right there is the one that I came down this morning. And then somewhere up on that plateau is where I started. I think it's probably tucked around the corner. I don't think you can actually see where I started. But that's crazy. Long ways. So Strava says I am 22.66 miles in, and I'm just about to hit 9 hours on trail. So I should have like 2.5 miles to go. Hopefully I can do it in the next hour. Look at this. Those are prints of some sort. I don't know if those are dinosaur or some sort of animal. And it looks like they're on this as well. That's so cool. I climbed and climbed and climbed. And eventually, I came across the 1.5 mile rest area. There's the 1.5 mile rest area. You can see foliage starting to come back on the trees because we're higher in elevation. The end was in sight, but I could feel a deep fatigue setting into my legs. I slowed down significantly. There were so many people on this part of the trail. People who journeyed down into the canyon from the South Rim to get a sneak peek of what it's like beneath the rim. Toward the end of this hike, I was in a procession of people heading up the South Rim. And then all of a sudden, it was over. We made it. North Rim all the way to South. Official time is 10 hours, 8 minutes, and it was 25 miles, 0.32. There were hundreds of people all over the South Rim standing, waiting to greet their friends or their loved ones who had made the trip across the canyon. Navigating the South Rim was interesting. It seemed like there were so many different bus routes that could take you all over the South Rim. The key was finding the right shuttle at the right time. Hey! That baby's like licking the tent. They must have food in there. She can smell it. Anyways, I'm just here in my tent, cleaning up, about to cook some food, just kind of packing, unpacking, repacking, getting ready for the next like 12 hours. 14 hours maybe? I don't know, we'll see. Plans have changed. I feel like that is the story of my life. I'll share that with you when I get there. For now, I'm just going to eat, charge my stuff, get ready, and relax as well. My plan was to stay at the Mather Campground tonight. However, I did get a bag shuttled from North to South Rim. In order to get this bag back to the North Rim tomorrow, I have to have it dropped off at the desk at the Bright Angels Lodge. Mather Campground is probably like a mile and a half away from Bright Angel Lodge. The South Kaibab Trail is probably another 1.5 miles, 2 miles from the Bright Angel Lodge. I would have to walk with the bag to Bright Angel Lodge, then walk 1.5 miles to 2 miles to South Kaibab Trail just to get started on my adventure back to the North Rim. That honestly sounds super crappy. So my plan now is to take my bag to Bright Angel's Lodge right now using the shuttle, and then get a shuttle ride from Bright Angel's Lodge to South Kaibab Trail and hike that tonight. We'll see how it goes, I guess. I don't feel like I have a lot of other options, but right now it's just after 5 o'clock. Here I am, waiting for the shuttle to take me to the lodge. It seemed like most of my time on the South Rim was spent waiting for a bus, riding the bus, or figuring out which bus I needed to actually be on. Though it took a lot longer than I expected, the shuttle eventually got me to all the places that I needed to go. And for that, I was thankful. It is 7:15, and I'm just starting the South Kaibab Trail. It was completely dark when I embarked on the South Kaibab Trail. I was hoping to actually see this part of the trail because I hear it's very beautiful, but no view tonight. The stars are pretty amazing though. I know the GoPro can't capture them, but they're really pretty. This looks like cobblestone. And it didn't take me long to realize how different the interactions with other hikers were. Ooh, point. I don't know if you can see way down there, but there are people. I'm not the only one on the trail. Just the only one for several miles. Comforting. While I was on the bus over here, I was feeling really hesitant. But now that I'm out here, I feel pretty good. I know this is just the beginning, but like mentally and emotionally, I feel a lot better than I did on the bus. Right now, I'm just taking it super slow, and it feels really nice actually. It doesn't really feel strenuous at all, especially when I use my poles. My pace is like 2 miles an hour. I just walked past a group of 3 people that I walked past going the other direction this morning in the box. Because hikers were few and far between, when we saw each other, it was like a reunion. We were complete strangers. And yet somehow we were deeply connected by this incredible trail we were hiking. We checked in with each other, making sure the other had enough food and water to get where they needed to go. People seemed to care more about each other. They're a lot further along than I am. It's okay, I had a really long break, which I don't think most people do when they do rim to rim to rim. This trail is also super dusty. I can taste the grit in my mouth. It's disgusting. Tarantula, probably. I just ate a Larabar, and I'm going to force myself to eat every 3 miles at least to keep up my energy. I believe I'm 3 miles in. Been on the trail an hour, 28 minutes. Maintaining that 2 mile an hour pace. So right now that feels adequate. When hiking in the dark, it's easy to lose track of time. The ground pretty much all looks the same.
Skeleton Point.
And beyond the 3-foot ring of light projected out of my headlamp, there was only darkness around me.
Look at this cute tunnel. Oh, straight to a bridge? Oh, this is a suspension bridge. Oh my gosh. I did not think we were here already. Wow. This one's a lot older than the other one. Oof, it's swaying. I don't like that. Guess that's a part of it though, right? Suspension. There's the people. Lights. Over probably on the other suspension bridge or close. So I just got off that suspension bridge and I've gone 7 miles. I've been out here for 3 hours, 30 minutes. My pace is just under 2 miles an hour, so I think most of the downhill is done, so I can probably start picking up my pace a little bit more. I'm almost to Phantom Ranch, which is exciting.
The miles would come and go without me giving much thought to them. I listened to podcasts and music in one earbud, leaving the other ear open and tuned in to the whistling wind, the crunch of rocks and dirt under my feet, and the sound of water that flowed through the canyon.
Just leaving Phantom Ranch. Just got some water, used the bathroom. I am 4 hours in and 8 miles in. And I'm pretty sure I have 16 miles to get to the North Rim. But I don't know if that's true. It feels really good to be walking slightly uphill instead of downhill. I feel like my pace is going to increase just a bit. Downhill just trashes my knees. So uphill feels better. At Phantom Ranch, I met a guy who was doing South Rim to North to South. He said the North Rim is super hard. A little nervous. I'm actually really glad I found this sign. So Cottonwood is only 6.4 miles away. North Rim is 13.4, which is a lot better than 16, which is what I thought it was. So 13.4 miles away. I definitely have some, feels like blisters forming. I started noticing it after I walked through the water. The shoes just didn't quite dry like I had hoped, like my Ultras do typically. They stayed kind of damp, and I think started rubbing my pinky toes a little bit. On the South Rim, I changed socks and dried out my shoes, so it's better, but I can still feel it. My knees feel 1,000 times better going uphill than downhill. My muscles are doing surprisingly well. I'm really surprised with how my body is responding right now, so far so good. Another bridge and a Red Bull. Oh, I'm feeling tired. It's catching up with me for sure. I think I'm like halfway, which feels a little discouraging to be honest. I was hoping it was further, but it is what it is. I'm gonna take it as slow as I need to. It is like pitch black. I turned my headlamp off for a second and it is dark. I can't see anything without it. I keep hoping that I'm gonna start running into people. Haven't yet at all. I haven't seen anyone since Phantom Ranch. Feels a little bit eerie being at the bottom of the Grand Canyon in total darkness by myself. Another bridge. I don't know what number this one is. Alright, I'm taking a little break at the Cottonwood Rest area and then off to my final ascent. I believe it's 7 miles, so probably gonna take it pretty slow climbing the steepest part of this canyon. As I trudged through the last 7 miles, I began to be very grateful that I chose to hike this section at night. The climb up the North Rim was very challenging, but I was grateful for the cool air that allowed my body to offload heat. Okay, it's officially 4:12, which means I've been on the trail or hiking for 24 hours now, with North Rim to South Rim, and the walking that I did on the South Rim, kind of wasting time and energy, and then the 17.8 miles to the point that I'm at right now puts me at 46.1 miles in 24 hours. That is absolutely the most I've ever done. I'm definitely feeling it, as you can imagine, but I can see the light, the headlamps, lights of other hikers coming down the North Rim. And I've been waiting for this for so long. I haven't seen another hiker since 11 p.m. when I talked to that guy at Phantom Ranch. So it's been 5 hours of hiking alone in the dark. Really ready to see some other people. I ran into my first group of people around 4:30 a.m. It was just a small group of 3. They looked stunned to see me hiking alone. I wouldn't run into another group of hikers for about 45 minutes or so. After that, it was a consistent flow of hikers passing me. Some asking me about my journey and cheering me on, telling me that I'm almost done. Others nearly knocking me off the trail as they anxiously made their way from the North Rim to the south. I think I'm almost to the top. I'm really hoping it's close. Just around the corner would be ideal. With the gain in altitude, the wind has picked up. It is frigid and super windy, so I'm looking forward to getting in my car and warming up as soon as possible. Simply interacting with other people felt like it recharged my batteries and made the last 2 miles very enjoyable. Getting that sunrise. Finishing this journey felt surreal. I got into my car and began processing all that I had been through. 51 miles in the previous 27 hours. As I sat in my car, I felt like I was hallucinating. Probably sleep deprivation, and probably the massive physical feat that I put my body through. I slept in my car for several hours. When I was more rested and in my right mind, I made my way to the North Rim Lodge. I hobbled into the lodge and picked up my bag that was shuttled across the canyon and slowly made my way home. This was a massive adventure, one that very few people will ever get to do in this lifetime. I was proud of myself and sank into the gratitude that I was able to accomplish this massive endeavor